Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit it long way, 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 shit long way, long shit long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way. She don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, every day we gotta get paid, I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, she's gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, tryna get the shit the long way. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way. Get the shit long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a phone way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money. Cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, back and forth like the pong way, man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way, just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy, we gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day, we be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for so we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we get shit the long way, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, we get the long way,
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? What's happening? What's up, Aaron? First one in, just like you said. What's up, Jimmy? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host and the founder, LJ Young. And what I do is I'm here to share my gift. And my gift is that I know for a fact, a mathematical fact, that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. Okay. Now, since math says that's true, how you feel about what I'm saying or about mathematics is 100% irrelevant. Okay. And if you're really new to this channel, I want you to make sure you guys understand something. There is nobody like me on the internet. Nobody. You will never find another person on any social media platform at all like me. Okay. Now you probably hear me saying that, oh, who do he think he is? He's probably bragging and all this stuff. Before you start doing that, you go find somebody. First, you go find another person. Okay. Before you say that. And then when you don't, you come back and be a subscriber. How about that? How about we make a deal? You hear me say something like that, you probably thinking I'm being some big a-hole or whatever, right? You go try to find another person like me, and then you come back and you subscribe. Okay? How about that? All right. What's up, Andre, L. Marshall, Omanike? All right. So with this knowledge, knowing that capitalism is split into two parts, positive and negative, on the negative side lives debt slaves. And you're probably thinking, well, who are debt slaves? Debt slaves are people that believe they can own with no money of their own. None. I mean, none. Absolutely no money. People that believe they can buy houses with mortgages. People that believe they can buy cars with car loans. People that believe they own equity in a mortgaged house. Those are called debt slaves. People that believe they can invest in a retirement plan with student loan debt older than the retirement plan. Those are called debt slaves. They just believe what they believe. Now, I was a debt slave, okay, until the bank woke me up. I don't want to get into all that. And then all of a sudden I got out of debt, came to the positive side of the economy. That's what I do. I help people come from the negative side to the positive side. I still help you participate in capitalism, your United States capitalist system. I still help you participate, but positively. Over here, you're not scared of the IRS. You don't cheat on your taxes. You don't commit tax evasion. You don't fall for IRS scams. Because you know that none of that is true. That's you debt slaves. You guys are the money. It's you. It doesn't matter. Listen, okay, I'm gonna give you an example, debt slave, so you guys can understand that no currency at all, physical or digital, exists for you because you're a debt slave and the money is you. And I'll prove it to you. Now, okay. Now, hold a $100 bill in your hand. Okay. This is a currency. Let me take that back. Currency is psychological for you guys. It's real. Let me not take it that it's not real. It's psychological, but for you guys. Okay. And I'm going to give you, here's an example. Okay. Hold a $100 bill in your hand and open up the calculator app with the other. Okay. And put in 100 minus your car payment and then hit equal. Now, listen to me. According to the calculator, do you have $100 in your hand? The calculator says no. Okay. But according to your eyes, do you have $100 bill in your hand? Yes. See how I made it disappear and reappear? Did you see that? Did I do it too fast? Okay. You're still holding the calculator, right? According to the calculator, do you have $100 in your hand? The answer is no. Now, according to your eyes, do you have $100 in your hand? The answer is yes. See, I made it disappear and reappear. Did you guys see that? I did it for anybody. Hey, listen, and it doesn't matter the year you listen to this video because it will always be valid. Okay, I just want you guys to, I want you guys to understand that my videos are forever. Okay, because math is forever. All right. Anyway, so I bring people to the positive side, and then you become as wealthy as you want to be. There are no limits. You won't be going to any listen, you won't be going to any state in the United States of America saying a house is too expensive. You won't even talk like that out loud in public. You got to be careful who you're around when you hear somebody say, "Woo, that's expensive." You're like, "Ooh, they're broke." Expensive for who? Yourself? Listen, the person that says, "Woo, that's expensive," they're talking about themselves. They're telling the whole world that they can't afford whatever they're looking at, or they might be looking at tires, talking about those tires are expensive. Really? You saying that out loud? They don't know that though. You won't talk like that anymore. You don't talk like that on the positive side because nothing's out of reach. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't go anywhere and say, "Ooh, taxes are sure high here." Who are you talking to? About for who? You? I'd be like, "Why are you telling us that? Why are you telling us about your finances?" That's what I would say to a person. When you hear a person talking about, "Oh my God, man, these taxes are killing me." Killing you? What are you talking about? Like literally? Like you're dying or something? What are you talking about? They always say, "Oh man, these taxes are they're taking so." If you put a dollar in change down, right? And you take 70 cents and they take 30 cents, who's getting more of the dollar? That means you're getting more of the money. Doesn't that excuse me, why are they taking that? Doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to put it in words and I can't. But when you come to the positive side, you're like, "Hey, oh, I understand all that. Okay, it has to be that way." Yes. Do you guys know the housing market wouldn't exist if you guys knew you couldn't buy a house with a mortgage? Of course not. I don't even want that. And some of you guys are probably saying, "Hey, Linnell, well, you just said it out loud on the mic. They can't hear me." Do you guys understand that? They don't know what I just said. I want the S&B followers to understand something. When I say things like, "Hey, the housing market wouldn't exist without debt slaves believing," they don't know what that means. I'm not I'm not t I'm not telling a secret. It's not a secret. You just open up the calculator, you can see that. They just choose not to believe the calculator. See how I said it out loud? They don't know that. I hope hey, listen, I hope it stays that way. That's a choice. All those people that believe they're buying houses with mortgages, that's a choice. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. But then again, if you believe it takes 30 years to pay off a house, I guess that's why you have a mortgage, because that's what you believe. Think about it. They believe since they need a mortgage, it takes 30 years to do it. It only takes one day to buy a house. It doesn't take 30 years. Who told you that? The bank? Yes, Linnell, the bank. That's called business. There's no, hey, listen, the banks are not big, bad, and evil. Hey, listen, if debt slaves want to believe they own equity in a mortgage house, you let them do it, and then you sell it to them. See, I bring all you realtors to the positive side, because I'm not saying, listen, if you're a realtor and you just come over here and you're like, hey, how am I supposed to sell a house if mortgages don't really buy houses? I'm just talking about you personally. I'm not saying don't sell to people that believe you can buy houses with mortgages. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't be in business. Okay, listen. Okay, let me give you guys an example. Okay, look at Tesla. Okay, Tesla. Do you think Tesla would sell this many cars if they decided to say, hey, we're only accepting cash? Do you think Tesla would be in business today? Hell no. We're not, you know what? We're not accepting any type of financing. We're only accepting cash. They would go out of business the next day. So you sell them. If if financed electric car owners believe they're saving money on gas in a financed electric car, you sell it to them. Congratulations, Tesla. You guys are looking at gas. You guys in the financed electric cars are looking at gas prices and like, oh my God, I'm so glad we don't have to pay that. Yes, you are. You're paying that. Yes, you are, and probably more. Because the majority of you guys have probably rolled negative equity into the electric car loan. That is bananas. And here we are. What month are we in now? We're in August now. What's going to happen when student loan payments when they become mandatory? What's going to happen? Mm, what is going to? You know what? I'm sitting on the sidelines like I'm eating popcorn. What's going to happen? Now, they already pushed it to January. January is where the magic is going to happen. I'm waiting for January 1st. I'm like, what is going to happen here when those student loan payments have to start? How many of you guys, I wonder how many of you guys got into these houses, these mortgages, based on no student loan payment. Because remember, it was removed from it showed all zeros on your credit report, which did what? Boosted up your credit score, got you approved for that house. Now what you gonna do? I don't know. I'm eating popcorn though. How many people are in houses that got student loan payments about to be mandatory? You guys ain't gonna be in those houses no more. You guys already see it, what's happening with the cars. Where you live is always the last to go, okay? You guys will let go of everything else, and then the house is the last thing to go. What's gonna happen, man? I'm excited. I can't wait to see, because you brought it on yourselves. Just because you didn't see it on your credit report didn't mean it wasn't there. That was a choice. You chose to believe just because it disappeared or showed zeros or whatever they did, it disappeared. That was a choice. It didn't go anywhere. Now you guys got approved for all these house leases, these mortgages, and then come January. Shit. Let me tell you something. You guys that got listen, the people with mortgages, and this is just an opinion, okay? I'm not a nothing in real estate. I don't know anything. Let me make sure it's clear. I don't know nothing about real estate. I don't got degrees in finance. I didn't go to school for finance. I didn't never, ever, ever went to school at all for anything to do with money, nothing. Let's make sure that's clear. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it. Damn, what was I going to say with that? Well, I'm going to read until it pops back in my brain here. LJ, I heard Bandman Kevo say fresh and fit that he has a method that can whip out student loans due to. Who do you like when you see the stuff like that? Who do you think their audience is? Because nobody can get rid of the student. Listen, nobody can get rid of student loan debt, not even the president, but Bandman Kevo can. Who do you think is listening to Bandman Kevo? Debt slaves that are listen, and this is what you guys got to really understand. This is what people like. Hey, and listen, I want you guys to understand something. If whatever Bandman Kevo is doing is legal and he's paying his taxes and it's been sanctioned by the government to say, okay, he can do business legally doing this, I don't care what he does. I don't care what he does. If you believe, if somebody will, the president can't even get rid of student loan debt, but if somebody believes Bandman Kevo can, that's what they're going to get. Bandman Kevo, get your money. But you guys better understand something about this. Bandman Kevo is not talking to people like us. Believe that. Believe that. He's not talking to people like us. One look at his personal credit report, I'll know all about him. One look at the personal credit report. It'll tell me everything I need to know. Everything. Actually, I don't even need to look at that. That's but if it's business, if it's legal business, whatever. I don't care. LJ, we need a projection from you. What's going to happen when the student loan payments start back? Oh, that's what, okay. Thank you. Thank you for being it. So come January, I'm thinking if oh yeah, I was going with the house. Like if you're a person with a mortgage and you have actual equity in your house, I'd probably sell. Okay. And this is why, because when January comes and those student loan payments become mandatory, that looks like a lot of foreclosures to me. I'm just, hey, listen, I don't know anything about anything, no real estate, nothing. Okay. Nothing. I don't know. But that sounds like a lot of foreclosures to me, which means a whole bunch of instantly available houses, which means the housing price is going to drop. That's what it seems like to me. Okay. That just makes sense to me because when I came across a couple people's credit reports and I didn't see student loan debts on it, and they either were not there or they showed all zeros, which increased the credit score. I was like, why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Because I would have a person say, hey, LJ, can you help me? I said, do you have student loan debt? They would say yes. I would look at the credit report and then show no student loan debt. I called the person back. I said, I thought you said you had student loan debt. They said, I do. I said, well, I don't see it. I don't see it either. I was like, okay, well, I never told the person, well, it's not there. I just said, well, it's not showing here, but it's still somewhere. Believe that. When that pops back on, because like there's some people right now like, ooh, look at my house, look at all this equity, but it's not yours until you sell it, especially if you have a mortgage. Whatever you're seeing, that equity, it's not yours until you sell. Okay. And that equity goes according to the economy. Okay. You don't control that. Nobody controls that. So if it's high now, hey, listen, you probably got till the end of the year before it's probably going to be, in my opinion, it's going to spike right there. That's it. Come January, when those student loan payments, well, no, before that, because the debt slaves already knowing those student loan payments are coming up in January. So I'm saying maybe 2 more months, probably not even till December, but they can't really mess up Christmas. So I don't know. I'm just saying something, okay? That don't take listen, I don't know, but I'm wondering what's going to happen around December and January. They cannot mess up Christmas because that's the debt slave holiday. Debt slaves will go broke for Christmas, trying to give everything to their kids that they didn't have. That's just a repetitive cycle that just goes. Every single generation says that I'm gonna do more than my last. They all do it, and then when you come to the positive side, I'll help you create a business around that, them believing that. There's nothing wrong with them believing that. You come over here and create a business based on and sell them stuff based on their belief. That's called business. Debt Being a debt slave is a choice, okay? That helps you take your feelings out of it. I promise you that. Sup, what's up? I'm currently in Washington State right now for the month, so but SC's in the house. That's where I live. What's going on? 843. Yes, that is. Yes, that is. Hello, SMD family. Glad to catch this. Just got home from work. Hello, hello. What's up? No days off. I thought student loans were due in October. Yeah, they start. Listen, this is how bad the system is. This is how bad it is. They start in September. September, right? The interest starts, but they're going to give them some grace. So they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you 3-month grace period, to basically saying you don't really have to pay right in these 3 months. And you better believe during October, November, and December, which option do you think debt slaves are going to take? They're going to wait to January. Now they can get more interest. They can get interest starting now in September all the way through the end of the year. Debt slaves ain't paying nothing, all interest, and then make them start in January when they get what? When they get the income tax checks. Where's the income tax check? They're going to go to the first month payment. They all saying it. I'll just pay my first student loan payment with my income tax check. Exactly what they want you to do. That seems pretty. Hey, listen, that seems pretty obvious to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just guessing. I don't know. Shout out to 10 for a hat for the 4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Millwood says, I know a female paying $2,000 a month on a new house at 7%, making 60,000 a year. Gross. That's gross too. The house was 300,000, but I know someone with the same house for 210,000 paying 1,100 a month. She is house broke. All of them are. People with mortgages own nothing. Isn't that beautiful? Can you imagine? Imagine being the bank, right? You own the house, you get the money, and you're responsible for nothing. No maintenance, no broken air conditioner, no roof, not even the insurance, not even the taxes for it, but you own the house the whole entire time. That's gotta be that's gotta be so beautiful. That's gotta be beautiful, man. They always think, debt slaves always go rent versus mortgage. Hey, hey, listen, if I caught a debt slave right now, almost getting caught up in the rent versus mortgage, you're gonna thank me for the rest of your life. Okay. If you're in your late 20s, early 30s, thinking you're supposed to have a house and you got your friends all got mortgages and they're telling you you're wasting money on rent, you better not listen to them. Those are people with mortgages. Everybody, listen, everybody that says that to you even brings up the comparison of rent versus mortgage. You turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? Guess what? They're all going to say yes. Why? Because only people with mortgages make the rent versus mortgage comparison. Rent is an expense. Mortgage is debt. There is no comparison to be made. None. Zero. So 99% of the time when you hear somebody compare rent versus mortgage, or they say some shit like you're throwing away money on rent, you turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? They're going to say yes. And when they say yes, I want you to think of me when I told you they said yes. Okay. If this is you, go in the mirror and say it to yourself. What's up, Robert? When I'm at work, I'm different. You still sitting at the lunch table by yourself, Robert? QJC says, wait a minute now. The interest start on the student loans in September. Yes, but the payment are not mandatory until January. Yes, yes, and yes. Man, this system is absolutely beautiful. Now, when I was on the negative side, it seems very hard. I was just like you guys, complaining about how high taxes are, scared of the IRS, scared when you get some kind of notice and they might do. I was just, hey, listen, the only reason why you're scared because you don't understand the game. The IRS, listen, the IRS are just like the referees of the system. There gotta be people, they're no different than the referees of a football game. Because if the referees of a football game wasn't there, how do you think your football game would go? It would be horrible. People would be dying. That's the same thing go for our system. There must be referees for the people that don't want to play right. I had a woman at my job said that I'm different from a lot of men because I don't have that hungry look. Exactly what we talked about before. What you talked about before. Exactly. Listen, I keep telling people that. When you own yourself, let me tell you something, man. You guys need to understand this. When you own yourself, you give off a different kind of energy and women pick it up. You guys, I know you don't believe me and you think I'm just talking shit, whatever. And I'll give you an example, okay? So you kind of understand. You don't I no longer walk around with that hungry look in my eyes. If I see a woman with a nice body that say like I'm attracted to, I don't do that. It doesn't, if that hungry look comes out all the time, that means it controls me. I don't control it, but that's different now. I control it. I can look at it and be under control. You see what I'm saying? I don't do that. That's the difference. You give off a different type of energy. And you think, when you're growing up and you're a young man, you really believe it's all about fucking. No, it's not. You know what? If you're a young man, be proud that you say you don't fuck a lot. Say it out loud. No, I don't. But you got to say it a different way. You got to say, yeah, I don't do it like that. I don't treat my body like that. That's how you got to say it though. So anybody that says something, you got to make sure you say it like that. Yeah, I don't treat my body like that. That's how you got to say it. It'll catch them because they will never had heard anybody say it like that. Because when you're growing up as a young man, you think you're supposed to hit everything, and if you don't, something's wrong with you. Wrong. That's wrong. That's all wrong. That's all wrong. All wrong. Let me tell you, I'm gonna just say it like this: control your sex drive, and women will be able to tell. Believe that. Yeah, I hope you can hear it. Do you hear it in my voice? Believe that it ain't got nothing to do with your color of your skin, where you live, the how no, it doesn't. None of that exists. None of it. That's just those are obstacles in your way. You're missing. Listen, if you believe people that it has something to do with that, you're missing out on a lot because that is a perspective that they're trying to lock you in. They are locked in that perspective. And if you believe them, that means you are going to be locked into their perspective. That's crazy. I like to join the stream to share my day. Oh, okay. Let me drop the link. Just a second here. I would love to hear it for sure. All right, there go the link, sir. Oh, wait. Oh, you're waiting for members only. Okay. I didn't read I didn't read the whole line. Sorry. Okay, we're gonna do a members only. All right, we'll do that. Actually, we'll just set up something because members only, we just pop on. We don't really do all the formal stuff. We just pop on and have it. So we'll email me and we'll set up a date and time, and then you and I will get on, announce it, and then we'll talk about it in the members only. I can't wait to hear it. Okay. LJ is crazy. It's crazy how Biden finessed the voters because he promised to eliminate loan, and now he's coming up with something that he knows a different way. I'm like, wow, he's just stretching it all the way out. Okay, you know what I'm thinking? Okay, how far is he going to stretch it? Because listen, debt slaves, they're not releasing you. You guys might as well forget it. Okay, just let go of that dream. 20,000, 10, whatever it does. Just let it go and take care of it yourself. You have an option. Stop listening to all the debt slaves, the people around you with student loan debt, and get away from them and pay off your debt. That's the only way you're getting out. Okay? Stop being strung along and believing nothing's going to happen. They're not releasing you. Okay? Just stop. That's why it's unforgivable. You guys, listen, you guys are nervous right now come January. The majority, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what I just realized? They can just take your income tax check. They don't have to wait for you. Oh, I just realized that they can just take your income tax check. They probably wait and see who doesn't pay their student loan debt during these 3 months before the end of the year. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be the same person that's probably not gonna have the first month's payment either. So they might snatch that income tax check. That's guaranteed bread, guaranteed. But, then again, a lot of you guys are on 1099, and you guys ain't been paying your taxes in years. And some of you guys probably won't even file just because of that, because they're gonna take it. Bury Do you know you're burying yourself when you do that? When you don't file your taxes and you just because you're scared they're gonna take the money or whatever, you're just burying yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. You're actually selling yourself because IRS debt is like student loan debt. You can't bankrupt it at all. You have to pay back every penny, and it has interest just like student loan debt. Did you guys know that? Because when you guys are owed money for you guys be on it. Hey man, how come the IRS hasn't sent us our money? But when it's time for you to pay them, you guys take your time. You guys make payments with interest, just like student loan debt. Now, if you got student loan, listen, this falls back to dating minus debt just a little bit. If you come across a person that's making payments on IRS debt and student loan debt, you better not date that person, man or woman. It doesn't matter. You better not date that person. You're going to be in financial hell for probably your whole relationship, being blamed for being blamed for all the financial problems. Okay, yeah, I'll email you, set that up. Thanks, LJ, for everything. It's almost fun now to pay off my debt. Oddly satisfying. Yes, it is. That's exactly how it does, tinfoil hat. That is the exact same feeling that I had. Sure did. When you start getting closer to zero, man, that's fun because you're almost there. And I said this in the community area today. When you get to zero, I want you to understand that you are instantly financially ahead of millions of people at zero. Millions. Because you won't be able to find another person like you except here at SMD. But outside of SMD, you will never be able to find another person that has zero owed debt. Not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying probably in your circle, my circle. I haven't. Robert says if you file married filing jointly and your spouse owes student loans, they take all of and give the spouse that doesn't owe student loans an injured spouse forum. That sounds complicated. I couldn't see that's what I'm saying. Once you own yourself, you won't get yourself caught in the predicament that you guys are caught in right now. A lot of you guys are inside of those new houses with new mortgages based on no student loan payments for the last 3.5 years. Now, when those student loan payments are mandatory, you're not going to be able to afford your mortgage because you couldn't afford it in the first place. They already knew it. You just didn't know it. But it's not up to the bank. It's not the problem of the bank or the financial entity that financed your house. It's not they're doing business. It's not their problem if you decide you don't want to use the calculator. That's not their problem. That's called business. What are you guys going to do? Now you got to tell your kids that you told, oh, mom, hey, we got a new house. Just think about it. All your kids, they're in the brand new house, telling all their friends, we got our own room. We're just right down the street from the school. Now you got to tell them you got to move. But because you cannot afford the house because student loans payments began. All you guys in those leased houses, you guys are going to have to break them now. Guess what? They're going to break you for breaking the lease. But again, they probably already knew you was going to break it. They're just going to attach that money to to your credit report for breaking the lease or whatever. They don't. That's business because you guys are not going to be able to afford to stay in there anyway. So you have to break them. You ain't got no choice. And then they're gonna slap you with all. Oh my God, they're gonna slap you guys with all kind of fees. Start the process all over again. Get another one in there just like you. But they got to hurry up because once they start, you guys are going to know you can't afford a house because you're not going to even be able to get approved for it because once they put it back on your credit report, your credit score is going to go down to where it was before they removed it. Where you going to go? All you guys that think you got equity in your house, I hope you're paying attention. You better take that money and run. That's free money. Because you don't own nothing. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you got a house and you got a lot of equity in the house right now, you don't own the house. You don't own the house until you pay it off. Okay, just understand that. You don't own it until you pay it off. But if you sell it, you can get that equity right now today. You can do that because they would have no problem getting a person. Right now it's at its height. That's why everything's so expensive. So right now you could sell, take the equity, free yourself because they're going to get somebody in it to replace you and get another mortgage at that price. They're not because it's at its height. It's not a big deal. But when people start getting foreclosed on, see, but you guys don't understand this. The bank, they already know. Hey, listen, they already know which one of you guys are going to lose your house. It's you guys that are behind on your payments today. If you're behind on your payments right now, even before the student loan payments resume, you are the first to go. They already know that because they ran your credit report before they put you in it. Isn't it beautiful? It's just amazing to watch them work. It's amazing. What'd you say? They also take your state taxes as well, and they send they send you an invoice saying that. Wow. QJC says, in my area, they're still building new apartments and storages. I think we all know why. And you know, so crazy, QJC, same down in Myrtle Beach. Sure is. I mean, they are building like skyscraper size apartments. I'm like, what is coming? Something's coming here. Because you know that when you see that many apartments, this is what you guys can't see, debt slaves. They need to put you guys somewhere to do something. So if they're making a whole bunch of apartment complexes, that means something big is coming somewhere because you guys need a place to live. I mean, they're throwing up storage facilities. Like, I mean, these storage facilities are getting fancy. Multi-levels and indoor heating, and soon they're going to be putting in swimming pools. And the government dangling student loan forgiveness, then yank it away like a cash for sure. That's business. There's nothing wrong with that. If you believe it, you just believe it. You got to understand, ain't nobody letting you out but yourself. You're the only one that can get you out of student loan debt. I kept mine for 10 years. Listen, and this is the horrible part. Let me tell you the horrible part about keeping it for 10 years. I was making six figures. Did you hear me? I had student loan debt for 10 years, making six figures. That doesn't add up. What's up, Robert?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good, good, good. How you been? Long time no hear.
I know. I'm good, man. I'm good. I see things are still going the same way at work.
Yeah, the lunch table is still by myself.
See, if you over there by yourself smiling, nobody's ever going to sit over there with you because they think that's weird.
Yeah. Oh man, I was going to tell you about the dating mindset, man.
Yeah,
It's
let me
like
hear that. Yeah.
I had a bunch of women from not only my job but from different places I go to, they all saying the same thing. It's like you are extremely different. Like you got a glow about you.
Mm. Mm.
And when I saw they talked to me, they was like, you don't have no hidden agenda. You ain't trying to immediately ask me for sex. It's
Right.
like, but you spot on with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
that
true,
part.
man, because that's how I am every day. Now, I want men to understand. I'm not blind. Don't get me wrong. I see.
Me
Okay,
too.
I know what I like, but it's just not that hunger just doesn't control me like that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing just to now I've been like on this journey of mine now, and I just been experience everything you said in dating minus depth is becoming true every single day.
Give me another example. What you talking about?
Oh, just when I get near different people, they be like, "You just such a breath of fresh air." I
Ah,
get that a lot.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's been what's so crazy. That's been happening to me a lot during my trip back home. It really
Mm,
is getting really just like apparent.
yes, same as that happening to me. But
Mm.
I was going to touch on the student loans thing when the comment that I made. The reason I say that because I went through that with my ex-wife because she owed a lot of money in student loans. Like what happened is that like when you file, because me and her did marriage filing
You guys did what, Robert? I think we Robert.
the student loan department, the federal one.
Okay,
They're
we kind of lost you for a minute. We kind of lost you for a minute when you start about your wife's student loans again.
oh, she defaulted on her student loans, like when she owed student loans way before I even met her, and I
Got
didn't know until afterwards.
you. Uh-huh.
So what happened was, for years, every time we filed married filing jointly, and plus we claimed our son,
Mm-hmm.
they would the student loan department they would automatically seize all tax refunds. We talking about
Yours
like
and hers?
both. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Mm.
yeah, they do that regardless.
That's that's crazy. Oh my
Yeah, they
God.
don't
But hey,
have,
whatever.
that's cool. Yeah, I've been in fact. I'm just
I,
know
you
like
you breaking up pretty bad,
you
man. We can barely hear you. Robert? All right, we're gonna wait till Robert come back again. LJ, I gotta thank you for saving me. My own mother tried to get me to sign on a house. Luckily, I found you. I told her, no, I literally would have sign my life away. Hey, you are welcome. And so crazy. And your parents love you, right? You got to remember too, Lottery. Your parents not really doing that on purpose, right? That's just what they know because they love you, so they're not really doing it on purpose. But luckily you found this channel to say no, it doesn't, and you say no, like it doesn't matter if they understand why you're saying no. That's just too bad if they don't, so congratulations. Anyone else want to come up? I mean, is this when I talk about the student loan payments begin, is this you? Do you know you're gonna lose your car? I mean, you gotta know when the student loan payments begin, the car you just got, that's gone. It's getting repoed because you ain't gonna be able to afford it. Because you got it based on not having student loan payments. That's how you know the car is gonna be gone. Because student loan payments are coming back. First, they're probably going to take your income tax check first. And then when month number 2 comes around, you're not going to be able to make that car payment. Now, you can either start being honest with yourself right now. You can start preparing. Hey, man, you could sell it. Well, you probably can't sell it because it's already started. Honestly, repos are the banks are paying a premium to get cars repossessed right now. So that means repos at an all-time high right now. So you probably couldn't sell it right now. You probably couldn't. You're probably upside down. Imagine, let's talk to the people that are upside down in their car right now that you can't sell it. You have to have money to get out of it. You guys right there, you guys know that car is gone. You guys have to know. Once your student loan payments, you guys are most definitely losing that car. You guys have to know that today. You can either accept it today, prepare it, sell the car, do something, or just wait till they take it. I mean, save yourself the embarrassment, because nothing is more embarrassment to get your car taken in front of your neighbors. Save yourself that. And most of your neighbors are probably in the same situation as you. It just doesn't look like it because you can't see it. Nobody's going to tell you that they're behind on their car payments or barely making them today. The bank already knows who are going to lose their cars when student loan payments begin. They already know you guys that are barely making your car payments right now as it is. You know how many Teslas are going to be available? Listen, if you've always wanted a Tesla and you got cash, wait till January or February. You're going to get a deal, because Teslas are going to be. Notice how Teslas are everywhere right now. They're everywhere. I'm in Seattle. Teslas are everywhere. 99% of them are financed. Okay? 99% of the Teslas are financed. Believe that. They're financed. Who knows the percentage of those people who have student loan debt they haven't been paying? The people that finance the Tesla based on not making student loan payments. Those guys are the first to lose their Teslas. They're gonna have so many Teslas. You think the bank wants all those Teslas? No, they don't. So guess what? When you have cash, you're gonna get a screaming deal. I'll tell you what, it's lucky that my money ain't right to get a Tesla right now. I got to get a house first to put it in. I'm not getting a Tesla before a house. I wouldn't do that. When I get my Tesla, I'm gonna be charging I'm gonna be doing fast charging at my house, not at a charging station. Okay, I'm not waiting in line. Listen, you're not gonna catch me waiting unless I'm out of town. But if I'm in where I live, you're not gonna catch me sitting 40 minutes at a charging station. You're not gonna see that. You back, Robert? Can
Yeah,
you
I'm
hear me,
back. Can you
Robert?
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good, good,
Okay.
good. Yeah. Oh yeah. So what I was saying was, when they took our taxes, federal taxes, they after they took it, would send the federal government would send you an injured spouse claim in the mail. So, for example, I never had student loans, but they would send me a tax form saying that how much was it on my end, my portion of the taxes.
Right.
And when I filled it out, they would give me the amount that they took, but
Oh,
they
so they
take
did give it to you.
yeah, they do. They give you half of it. They don't give. Let's say mass was like Mary Fallon Joint. It was like seven
Right.
thousand.
Whatever your portion was of the taxes, right?
Yeah, they give
Yeah.
that back to you.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
whoever owes, yeah, they take that regardless.
Okay. I thought they just took it. So they just take it temporarily, make you fill out some forms, and then they give it back to you. Okay.
Yeah, and then also this if you owe the state any like student loan money, they take away not only your taxes, but let's say you hit the lottery and you win like anything over $500, they take that from you as well immediately.
so they they attach your number to everything. Your social
Yes.
security number is attached to. Can you imagine? This is what I picture. Imagine a system that houses our social security numbers. Can you imagine that? That must be a remarkable system.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be
Because
remarkable.
I had a friend who has won $1,000 off a scratch off ticket, and he went and cashed it with to the Virginia lottery in Virginia in Richmond, right?
Uh,
So they sent him. He thought he was gonna get some money, but the state of Virginia they sent him a notice in the mail, and it said refund of lottery winnings, and they was like, because you owe this college back student loan money, we just seized your winnings.
Oh, so he just brought the ticket and they said it was gonna mail a check or something like that?
No, they was going. He thought they was going to mail the check, but they said otherwise.
No, I'm saying like this. So he won $1,000 on a scratch off ticket. He takes it to the business. They don't give him no money. What did they say? We're
No,
gonna mail you a check?
no, they said you owe the state of Virginia money. He told me like
Oh,
directly. He's like,
they said that to him right there at the office.
yeah, they looked him up on his social security
Oh,
number.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they look you up, but like no sooner anything over $500, you gotta
Gotcha.
you either gotta go to Virginia Lottery Building in Richmond or you mail it. And no sooner they look you up and everything, like they verify you through your
Oh,
address.
yeah.
Just
So he brought it there and they ran his name and they said, nope, you ain't getting nothing.
exactly.
Okay, I got it. I'm with you now. Wow. I mean, that's smart.
Yeah,
That's pretty. That's has to be like an always on system. You know what I'm saying? That's always checking, always, because
it's
that could
beautiful.
happen anytime. They could win money at any time.
And the Virginia Lottery Building is like 5 minutes away from the Federal Reserve Building in Richmond.
Oh, I want to. You know what? Do they let you visit Federal Reserve buildings?
Yes, they do.
They do.
I've been
Okay.
inside. I've been inside the one in Richmond.
What about the one in D.C.? There's no tours on that one, is it?
Yes, it is.
The central bank?
You can go inside and look at it.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely gonna do that. That's the one I want to see. The central bank in D.C. I want to see that
Yes,
one.
it's right beside the right near the Department of Energy. Because
Okay.
I've been there. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I wanna go see that building. That's because I know what that building represents now, so I want to go see it.
Yeah, they'll let you visit and everything. Like basically, well, except on Sundays they be closed, but like Mondays through Saturdays they'll let you come visit if you like want to do a tour of it, and they'll have a lady explain to you like the historical reference of the building and everything. It's very interesting. It's the same way as visiting the U.S. Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
And they you can like go around and you can watch like the floors and stuff where the senators be at and the houses be at, the House of Representatives. It's the same way.
Well, if we went to the central bank and they start telling us the history, of course we see it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm gonna listen to the history, but we know how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's gonna be very different.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you definitely should go to the one in DC.
Yeah, I am going. I'm gonna take a trip there because I do want to see that. I want to see that bad.
And also when you have time, visit the National Archives. You would like that.
Okay. They got what? A lot of economic stuff in there.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, the National Archives, the Federal Reserve Building, and the Department of Energy building is pretty neat too. But like overall, like all the like different departments, like the administration has different departments. If you go to them, like they definitely have a lot of interesting stuff. So if you ever make the time to go, you're gonna learn a lot.
Yeah, that's on my list. The central bank. That's on my list.
It's like 13 of them.
13 what?
Central bank buildings.
No, I'm talking about the main one. They got 12 Federal Reserve
12.
ones, but I'm just talking about the central. There's only one central bank, and that's DC. The other ones are Federal Reserve banks.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, the one in Richmond, and I was thinking about the one in Atlanta, and then the other one in Texas.
Right. There's 11 and 12, something like that. Yeah.
Because each Federal Reserve building is inside a Commonwealth state.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I got to see
Like,
what that means. Why is that?
oh, because Commonwealth means like, but in Virginia, it's always like it's saying like, for example, in the state of Virginia, a Commonwealth state means like you basically just don't own anything because you always paying taxes. The reason they say that because a lot of people, like who still pay mortgages, feel like that you'll always be in debt because you always owe taxes. That's
Well, you been talking about when debt slaves say that.
correct.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, if debt slaves are saying it, so if they're saying it, that really don't mean anything. But
Correct.
I
Because a
just
lot
got to
of
look
people,
up the true definition because there's a reason why they put those. Why would they put them only in Commonwealth states? I got to look that up. I don't know why that is. There's got to be a reason for that.
yeah, because I know it's let's see, Pennsylvania definitely is in Pennsylvania, New York, Virginia, Georgia, Texas. Um, it's some more. I know it's some more, but they mostly in Commonwealth states. Like they not like outside. No Federal Reserve banking is not outside of a Commonwealth state, and Pennsylvania is definitely one.
And you saying Texas is a Commonwealth state?
It is.
Okay, I gotta look that up. I don't know what that means. What Commonwealth states mean?
It's just, well, it's kind of hard, but it's always like it always has something to do with taxes. You know how DC is
Okay.
like taxation without representation.
Well, taxes are the backbone of the economy. That's why I'm saying. So taxes
Yeah.
without taxes, none of this could work. So see how it ties together. So it's a reason for
Uh-huh.
that. So because that's why if they didn't force debt slaves to play, they wouldn't play. So
Oh,
it's the
no,
backbone.
they wouldn't. No, they definitely wouldn't play. You ain't
No.
lying about that. Especially in my state, they don't like to play now.
Well, that's why you can go to prison because that cannot happen because that would mess up the whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
they that knowing that you can go to prison for tax evasion deters a lot of debt slaves from taking that chance.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, also, yeah, I forgot. Massachusetts. That's another one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it always and I just thought of this until now that yeah, it's like each Federal Reserve Bank is definitely within a Commonwealth state for some odd
And
reason.
they're all privately owned too, right?
Yes,
Yes, they're all privately owned. Yes. Crazy.
because only reason I knew about the one in Texas because Herman Cain, he was the chairman of the Federal Reserve building in Texas. It's like they got each, like, you know how Ben Bernanke was the Feldman chairman with the Federal Reserve, but he was the one in New York.
Okay.
And it's like each Federal Reserve building had like 12 members, 12 head board members. That's
Right,
how I
right,
always knew about
right. And, I think honestly, I think they named them Federal Reserve buildings because so debt slaves believe it has something to do with the federal system. You know what I'm saying?
it. Mm-hmm.
So they believe that like they hear Federal Reserve, they probably think Federal Reserve is probably part of the government. That's what they think when they're
Mm-hmm.
privately owned businesses. And they don't even know it. It's crazy.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people, well, they don't even care. They just care about their local bank.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Many debt slaves have no idea the central bank, what it is, where it's at. They don't even know what that building is for. They have no idea.
Nope. Only reason I knew about the one in Richmond because I went inside one day and I bought some bonds. Like the state, each state you can still they still their own like version of bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I went inside of one of them one day and I bought something like that. It was very interesting. Like it's like these big buildings you can go inside and you can ask about Treasury T notes.
So crazy. What's crazy is debt slaves. How you ever watch those First Amendment audits on YouTube? You ever watch
Mm,
those?
yes.
And they go into federal buildings and federal government buildings, right? Nobody ever says, "Hey, how come nobody ever goes into the Federal Reserve?" Right? They don't even really because most of them think it's a government entity anyway. I'm surprised they don't catch on and say, "Hey, they never go into the Federal Reserve building because that's a privately owned building. That's why they can't do that." But
Exactly.
they don't say that though.
Well, for one thing, the U.S. Marshals.
Huh?
That's one thing. The U.S. Marshals be inside of them, waiting on them.
Well, yeah, I know. No, I'm just saying they couldn't go in there anyway because it's a privately owned business. Just like they can't go into Walmart or Target because those are private businesses. Because they only go into public business like UPS, police stations,
Mm-hmm.
social services, stuff like that. So,
Right. Absolutely.
mm-hmm.
Oh, and another thing, don't you? I never realized this until my grandmother did this, but I ain't realized that most bankruptcy courts are federal.
Okay.
Like bankrupt. No,
What
like
about it
'cause
though? What
a
about
lot
it
of
though?
people, a lot of people always thought that bankruptcy was always through the state, but it's not.
Oh,
It's
I
like
didn't think that. I didn't think that because it hits your credit report, and that's everywhere. That doesn't even matter where you live.
Yeah, no, like no, I'm talking about like within the state, it's like you have a bankruptcy court.
Oh,
But I did,
the bankruptcy rules are different per state, but it's still a federal thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It has to be because your bills could be coming from anywhere, so it has to cover everything. You see what I'm
yeah, I
saying?
didn't, yeah, I know, I didn't know that until I went inside one with
Oh,
my
gotcha.
grandmother one day, and I saw like five U.S. Marshals just sitting there chilling.
Hmm.
And then I spoke to, I was like, wait a minute, is this a federal building? They was like, yeah. I was like, oh,
Mm.
yeah, the bank, like going inside a bankruptcy building, it's like it completely different from any other courthouse, any state courthouse building.
Really? Huh?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't been in one, so
I'm just letting you, it's like when you go inside, it's like they definitely assert their power inside a federal bankruptcy building. It's like much more intimidating than versus going inside a regular city courthouse saying like you owe some money.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, probably different rules, different laws.
But like you, I'm eating the popcorn, getting ready for February.
I can't wait. I'm ready to see what's gonna happen. I'm curious, man. I'm very curious.
And also, the reason that is because everybody around about that time, everybody get their federal tax returns,
Right, right.
and then there's going to be a lot of people trying to claim different kids.
They're gonna be doing everything. Trust me. They're gonna do everything they can. We gotta do something to keep this car instead of let it go. They're gonna just do everything, start doing illegal shit
Mm-hmm.
just to make the car payments. I gotta get enough money because I don't want people to think I'm broke. If I
Yep.
lose this car, they're gonna think I'm broke. Anybody making car payments is broke. If you're making car payments, you're broke. Okay,
Yes,
that's
you
why you're making
are.
car payments.
Yep. Just like mortgage. If you, I know people that took out like a second mortgage just to get the siding of their house done. I was like, the fact that you took a second mortgage house means you don't understand why they gave you the first.
Exactly, exactly. They don't. They don't. Two mortgage. I mean, they talk like having a second mortgage on a house is normal. They just be like, "Oh yeah, I took out a second." I just like, wow, you're saying that out loud? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right, okay, whatever.
I had to explain to a coworker how she lost $400,000 because she worked there for almost 20 years. And I told her, did she ever max out her 401k, which is
Mhm.
like 22,500.
Right, right,
She's like, no. And she never thought to do it. So I
right.
told her take $750 every 2 weeks times 20 years. Yeah, it's like it was like $384,000 which she could have had in her 401k.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she just gave me this bewildered look.
Plus the tax savings at the same
Yeah,
time.
which
Plus
was
the tax.
26, which was 26,000. So I told her you could have easily been paid off a house and everything.
It's like double dipping when you do that. It's like double dipping. You get to put money way into retirement, and you get to take off that money off your taxes. Off your annual income. Man, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
Phantom income, baby. That's phantom income right there.
Exactly. They even have that inside the 401k booklet that they mail you.
Have what?
Talking about like the catch up periods and stuff.
Oh, that
Like
stuff. That
explain.
garbage.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, if debt slaves believe it, let them believe it. Okay, let them believe it.
That still blows my mind. That it's like, yeah, they openly put that inside the formula, but then again, they realize a lot of people not going to read it.
No, they know about them. They know when they mail those things or email them to them. Those debt slaves ain't looking at none of that. You know how do I know that? Because I never looked at mine. That's how I know that. They just stacked up in my room.
Mm-hmm. Like you get the like I was at Amazon, I used to get the for when they used to give you stocks, they would give you the shareholder meeting booklet, like the
Hey,
decision.
hey, Robert, they give you some. They give you future money. They give you
uh,
future money.
yeah, they call them golden handcuffs.
Golden handcuffs. They still handcuffs. Who cares if they gold?
They give you stock, but you got to work 2 years just to get it, and then on top of that, you got to pay the capital gains tax on it. When
Mm.
that used to happen at work, everybody's like, "This is some bullshit." What you mean I gotta pay capital gains tax? And they was like, "Well, you gotta pay the government."
It's so crazy because they still, like I always say, they train debt slaves to talk about their money in the future tense. So they
Mm-hmm.
promise them, hey, you'll get this if you stay here for 5 years. You'll get that amount of money. And 9 times out of 10, most of them don't stay, so they're never going to get it anyway. So they
And
probably be out in 2. You know what I'm saying? And they're
oh,
never
and
going to promise the money that they knew they wasn't going to get.
and here's the insult, the injury. When I was at my time at Amazon, when I see that happen after, let's say you got fired, and you, of course, you don't the stocks to invest. They took the stocks that they were supposed to give you and resell it back into the stock market. You know how you think? You know how it's like their version of rolling over negative equity, except it wasn't negative for them.
Right, 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 right. But
That's
it's beautiful how they do it, though. It's beautiful how they do it.
indeed.
Now I really understand why, because certain things happened when I first fully funded my 401k. I didn't really realize how that's made me stand out in the company because
Yep.
nobody does that, right? Nobody does that, right? So here I am that fully funded a 401k. They're probably is like, who is that? Who is that guy?
Yep.
Because I'd never forget. I always tell you guys that story. The head honcho at the building wanted to see me before I quit, and I was like, he never talks to me. Maybe he got a bonus because I did that. Who knows?
Who knows? I
Yeah, who
know.
knows?
My HR manager. When I told him about me, I was going to do that. Like do the whole 22,500 for a full year. He was like, "I wish I could be like you. I can borrow some money from you." I was like, "Wow."
Who said that to you? Who said that to you?
My head HR manager.
Oh my God. Oh, so because you're doing the paperwork through that person, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so they see it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. She was like, "Ooh, I wish I could do that."
Yep. And they had the calculator whipped out and everything on the computer.
Now I never forget. HR called me. They was like, Mr. Young, did you make a mistake on how much you wanted to put in your 401k?" I was like, no. They were like, oh, okay. We're just double checking. She was like, do you do know how much per check that's going to be taken out? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay. All right. We was just double checking. I was like, the reason, but at the time I didn't know why they did that. Now I do because nobody does that. That's why they called me.
Mm-hmm. Mine's is the same way. They pulled the calculator out on the computer. I was in the office with the HR rep, and they was like, "You sure you can afford this? Because you know you gotta pay your
That's
rent
what they
and your
said to me. You sure you can afford this? Wow. What'd you say when they said that? What'd you say?
I said, "I sure can." They still looked at me crazy. Like, there he go. Look at him. He's at the lunch table by himself.
And she said, I wish I could do that.
Yep.
Did you should have turned to her and said, you can. You just got to get it out of debt. You got to get out of debt.
Yeah. Oh no, she told me she was paying a mortgage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She ain't gonna
Yeah.
that means she ain't gonna hear you.
Yeah.
Because
I heard more.
debt slaves ain't gonna let go of that house. They won't let go of that house. Even if you tell them they don't own it, they're like, forget it. I've been here for 5 years. I put all this money in it. I can't just let it go. And they think they still own it because they've been there for 5 years, 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My
Crazy.
grandmother was like that. I just seen it. I was like, no, I'm good.
Right.
Well, I ain't gonna keep you up too long. It's good to hear from you as always. Oh, I have a request. Whenever you have time, do you can if you can do more dating minus debt videos, man.
Okay.
Those are true.
Okay. I'll do that. We'll do some more. Hey, let's throw some topics in the Discord server.
Yeah.
I don't know if what's the name's in there. Drop Discord server link. Anybody got the Discord server link? Can drop it in there. But yeah, let's do that. I'll do some more of those. We'll just come up with a good dating minus debt topic, and then I'll do it.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right, then. You take care.
All right. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Bye bye.
Welcome, Nasiah Brown. Welcome. Mill says, I know people driving a car and it's on the repo list and it's been months, no insurance. I know their licenses. Ooh, man. You know, when I when I see that, man, and as a young man, let me tell you something. As a young man in my 20s and 30s, I had friends that did the same thing. Got cars, didn't pay for them, hid them from the bank, no insurance, suspended license. I want you guys to understand that is a perspective of life. That when you have a friend that does that, that never license is always suspended. They have it 1 month or they don't have it. They go through a whole bunch of phone numbers. Every time you call them, they got a different number. And they're headed down a wrong path, a perspective of life, a life that's always in debt. Because those tickets are expensive. No insurance tickets. It counts on which state you're in too. Some states automatically tow your car. Once I got my license at 16, I never lost it, ever. Never once. Never once lost my license in my life. Never. But I always had friends that happened every other week. And it was always the police officer's fault. It was always somebody didn't do something to the car. That's why they got pulled over. Always a reason why something happened to them. And I used to always say to myself, none of that stuff happens to me. No, it doesn't. Because I know what the perspective of life I'm living. I know which one that is. So LJ, around this time next year, what are the banks going to do with all those empty? Now, I don't know that, because that's going to be a lot of empty houses. Maybe it's an opportunity. Maybe they're giving an opportunity for the people that have money to buy houses. Maybe this is just how they do it, right? As soon as all the foreclosures happen, in my opinion, I want to make sure that's clear. I don't know. I always like to throw this out there. I don't know anything about real estate, finances, never went to school for anything. I don't have no college degree and no finance, nothing, anything. Now, what are they going to do with all those houses? That's an opportunity for people with money to buy up houses for 2 for the price of 1. You better believe people with money, they're waiting for that to happen. Believe that. They're waiting. As soon as it happens, they're about to get 2 houses for the price of 1. Tax liens, foreclosures. Look at the car market right now, okay? Look at it. Repossessions, this and that. The car, it's going to mimic what's happening with the car market right now. It's just going to be with houses instead, where you live. LJ, say someone paying a phone bill and paying utility bills does that count as debt? No. Now, if the phone bill, you have to have a phone bill because you don't own the company, right? So you have to have a phone bill, but you don't have to have a phone payment. Okay, that's different. Utilities are not bills. Those are services, like rent. That's a service. Lights, that's a service. Phone service. Water is a service. Trash, that's a service. That's not debt. Those are services, because debt slaves like to mix up debt and services. That's why when people say, when they do the rent versus mortgage, what debt slaves are the only people that do that, because they're comparing a service to debt. Rent is a service, mortgage is debt. There is no comparison. Debt slaves don't know that. That is an excellent question. I love answering these type of questions, because you got to be able to hear this. And the only reason why I'm being able to tell you this, Lottery, because I know that capitalism is psychological. There's a psychological piece. So I know debt slaves always use the wrong words. They always use the word buy when they finance. Hey, should I buy or lease this car, when they're both financing? Their version of buy is still financing, but a different way. When they say, hey, I bought this house, they're talking about financing because they did it with a mortgage. You'll start to be able to listen to words very differently. So now when I hear a person say, stop throwing away money on rent, that means that's a debt slave, because you don't throw away money on rent because you're getting a service. If I moved into an apartment complex where everything was promised to be fixed, and when I live here, when I pay, which is included with my rent, and it didn't happen, I would leave, because they're not providing me the service. So I wouldn't keep paying for the service that I'm not receiving. That's the difference. The only difference, when you see people with mortgages compared to somebody with rent, and if you're a rent person right now, I want you to listen closely, okay? You're not throwing away money on anything, because if anything breaks in your house, like the dishwasher, the washer and dryer, the air conditioning, All you got to do is pick up the phone and somebody comes and fixes it. People with mortgages got to take it out of their own pocket and pay the mortgage on top of that. And they think they're investing in something. No, they're not. The bank owns the house, but the bank doesn't have to be responsible for anything. The debt slave is responsible for the bank's house and everything in it. Insurance, repairs, everything. Any questions? If I was you right now, if I was a person that knew, like you're gonna have to go in the mirror and just be honest with yourself. Go into the mirror and say, I'm gonna lose this house when student loan payments begin. And you can start preparing now. Get a nice place somewhere, save up some money, something, but you know the house is gonna be gone. Okay, you know it's gonna be gone. The bank already knows you're gonna lose the house when student loan payments begin. They've probably already started the process because you have to pay them. So according to how you've been making your payments to the bank, they already know it's because when you signed up for the mortgage, they ran your credit report and they saw that you had student loan debts and they knew it was on pause, yet they approved you. But that's your problem. That's their problem. So they also know come January, they already probably got the paperwork going because you're not going to be able to pay. Any questions? Hey, what's up, Nick? Can you drop the Discord server link in there, sir? I appreciate it. So what are you guys going to do? You gonna keep on pretending like you'll wait till the payments start, or you guys listen? When you guys all signed up for student loan forgiveness or whatever, you updated all the information, the bank information, your address, where you work, all in praise for forgiveness. Of course, you're gonna give exact information. If you thought you were gonna get $20,000 forgiven, you wasn't gonna give no false information. So now all your stuff is updated. Be prepared for that. You can prepare right now. Just accept that you're not going to be living where you're living. You can prepare yourself now. Just be honest with yourself. They already know where to find all of you guys because you guys were all looking for a free ride. So you're going to give all of you guys updated your information to where you live and where you work and all that stuff. Everything. Bank accounts, everything. All that free money. If they can electronically put it in your bank account, that means they can take it out. That's what that means. I know that. I already know that. If the IRS can electronically deposit your money, that means they can take it out. That's equal access, not just access to put money in. I hope you didn't think that. Searching for forgiveness, right? That don't even sound right. Searching for forgiveness. All of it, just so they can get that 20,000, Nick. They really thought they was gonna get that 20,000 knocked off. No, you wasn't. And then they're out there protesting. Forgive all student loan debt. If they didn't forgive 20,000, do you think they're gonna forgive all? Come on. We're gonna stand up. We're not gonna pay our student loan debt. They want you to do that so you can pay more interest because eventually you're gonna have to. You can protest and gang up and not pay your student loan debt all you want, but one day you have to. You got to work and eat, don't you? You got to work. If you want to eat food, that means you got to get a job. That means you got to work. So they're going to get their money. That's how debt slaves are created since the age of 18. That's how you guys are owned and purchased. You did it to yourself. They said, hey, if you sign up for this money, you got to pay it back. That's what they said. Do you know how hard it is? it was for me to pay back every single penny of that student loan debt. That was hard, man. I ain't gonna lie, that was tough. I dreaded that debt. I was coming because my student loan debt was my last debt, so it was in the back of the pile, and I dreaded it. When I finally hit it, every single check was going to it for like a year and a half, till one day it stopped, and my check was mine when I paid it off. But to pay back every single penny plus interest, that was tough. That I ain't gonna lie to you, that was tough, man. But I did it. Nick right here, SD, he dropped 40 bands. 40. All of his friends, oh man, you could have bought you a car, you could have bought some gold, you could have took a trip, yeah, and still been a debt slave. Still been it. You probably still get that, Nick. Oh man, you shouldn't have really paid off, man. 40 bands, you could have came up and then got this and then pay. Yeah, you guys all say that. Invest over here, use the money that you earn from the interest over there. But what you guys don't know, you can't invest with negative dollars. That's the problem. You guys don't. That's how everybody knows you don't understand interest rates, because you don't own yourself. If you're begging for student loan debt, you're a debt slave. If you're crossing your fingers that the president found another way to do something, you are a debt slave. I don't care. Hey, listen, I don't care that they do that. The president says this and does that. Hey, I live here. Those are the rules. Hey, do whatever. I don't really care. I don't care. What a promise. Hey, you'll do it later. Hey, whatever. I pay mine off. I don't care what he does. Whatever. That's on you. But this is why you're in the predicament now. Now you gotta tell your kids you gotta move. You probably bought all new furniture, fixed up their room, got them all excited. This is your space, son, daughter. You guys, now you got to say, well, we got to go. Where are we moving? Back to an apartment? The place we left that we said we were throwing away money on, we got to move back there. What about our new car? That's got to go too. We got to get the one we had before that one. Crazy. It is crazy. They can't hear me though, Nick. Only you can. SMD family members can. That place can't hear me. That's just, hey, and I accept that. Listen, that's the part of accepting, of finding the psychological version of myself. I have to accept that not many people are here or will ever get here. It's crazy asking the government and the banks to save them from themselves, then pay the victim, and then play the big victim role. Yep, be all in the streets protesting. Oh, this and that. They didn't tell us this. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They told us everything. Yes, they did. Everybody down there holding a sign, probably in student loan debt. Yeah, that's what you do. Get rid. That's why you're there. People in student loan debt and do all that protesting, they probably don't even know that people that do not have student loan debt don't even pay attention to any of that. The only reason why I even pay attention to student loan debt, because just part of SMD. I got to watch you guys, see what you guys do when things are said and moves happen. I got to see how you guys react to them. Right. Back to the apartment. What happened to wasting money? They're gonna realize this is when you're gonna realize you wasted money, debt slaves. When you lose the house and you're back into an apartment, and then you're gonna realize how much money you wasted from listening to other debt slaves saying you were wasting money on rent. When you figure it out, it's an expense. Why do you think they're building all those storage facilities, debt slaves? Because you guys are about to get kicked out of all those houses for all that shit you guys financed to be in the houses. You got to have some place to put it. Haven't you noticed that? Haven't you been seeing all these storage facilities just popping up all over the place? Why do you think that is? Because you guys are about to get booted. Where are you going to put all that stuff? In storage facilities. They're about to cash in, baby. They're about to cash in. I know you guys been wondering that. Why are all these storage facilities popping up all over the place? Because the game is about to happen in January, the big Super Bowl, the United States real estate Super Bowl is about to, but it's about to happen. I don't mean to laugh. That's not funny. I'm just glad I have a seat in the stadium. That's it. That's all. I'm glad. LJ, thank you. I have never been so aware of they can't hear you. Thank you, sir. They can't hear you. They can't hear me. Death slaves have no idea the United States Super Bowl is about to happen in January. The 2024 United States Super Bowl, real estate Super Bowl. That's about to happen. And all you guys with cash right now, hey, I'm going to be the first one to congratulate you. All you real estate moguls with money right now, you guys are about to cash in. Congratulations to you all. I will be there probably next year or 2 years from now. I will get into the next United States Super Bowl. I'm going to have to miss this one. Real estate Super Bowl. I'm going to have to pass on this one. I'm still trying to build SMD. That's my main focus, but I will not miss the next one. I promise you that. Now, after they move out, they have to waste money on storage. Sure do, Nick. They got to. They're not gonna. You got to remember, debt slaves finance all that stuff, so they're still making payments on that stuff they filled the finance house with. So they can't get rid of it. So they got to put it in storage. They have to. And listen, they're gonna be making payments on the storage, and they're gonna be making payments on the stuff in the storage. And you guys, listen. You guys don't really see how it's gonna work. This is how it's gonna happen. Okay. First, debt slaves are going to lose the house. They got to go back to an apartment. Now they got to put all that stuff they bought for the house in the storage. Now they got to be paying. Now they got to be paying storage and the payments on the stuff in the storage. Pretty soon, they're not going to be able to afford to pay the storage no more. Guess what? They're going to lose everything in the storage. They're going to lose it all because they have no place to, they can't take it out and put it anywhere. And plus, they have no money to make the payments. So guess what the storage facilities get to do? They get to auction off all that stuff, and they're going to make all that money from people defaulting on all their storage lockers. Do you see how it flows? Now you see why these storage facilities are going up. They're about to kill it. But again, now the people with the money will go to all of the storage facility auctions and get all the brand new stuff that the debt slaves financed. Because you got to remember, debt slaves, when they stop paying for stuff, they don't want to tell the company where it's at. They don't want to return it. They don't want to. You got to remember, they cannot come and get a refrigerator or a washer and dryer from every single person. They can't. So they're going to have to take a loss. So now the people with money are going to go to the storage facility auctions and get brand new stuff for pennies on the dollar. Do you see how it flows? That's how it flows. I went from 2,200 to rent to 15. I actually like it here better. It's $500. Bam, just like that. Shit, did you go? Now tinfoil? Did you? Are you the one that said you went? You paid the whole year or paid out the rest of the months or something like that, or was that somebody else? I don't want to mix up. The United States real estate Super Bowl, Nick. The United States real estate Super Bowl. That's about to happen. Congratulations to all you guys with cash. Congratulations to you. You guys about to kill it. Yep. Now they have to sell the storage on the auction. Yep, sure do. That's where we come in, Nick. You go to the storage facilities. You want a new refrigerator with a TV screen in it? Go to the storage auction. They're going to have them all day long, all day. Like Andre would say, thank you for your contributions. Exactly. That's why he always says it. Thank you for your contributions. Okay, no. All right. I'm watching storage units daily in my own town. Hey, you got to wait though. You got to wait for when. Pay attention to your storage units once the student loan payments resume. That's when everything's gonna kick in. All right. I want you guys. You want a car? You want a nice? You got cash to buy some houses? You go to storage facility, just like Storage Wars. All of them are gonna have auctions. All of them. They're gonna have some nice stuff too. Ooh, they're gonna have some brand new refrigerators, color matching washer and dryers, all of that. Tax liens, HOAs. They're gonna get kicked out of the HOA because they couldn't pay their HOA dues no more. All you guys with those houses with HOA, you can't. If you can't even afford, you won't be able to afford your HOAs no more. Everybody's getting paid off of debt slaves. Everybody. But those storage facilities, they know what's about to happen right now. They know. Because in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, they are everywhere. They are being put up everywhere. They knock out a piece of land, a storage facility. I'm like, damn, another one? Yes, another one. I'm like, okay, like in Myrtle Beach, they got a whole bunch of apartments, like tall apartments. I'm like, okay, something's coming here because banks don't build stuff. You guys remember, whatever you see being built, the bank owns that. Okay. They're not building it for nothing. They're building it to put people in it. That's why they're building so many. So something's coming, something's about to change. I don't know, something. Is that happening in your town? Storage facilities are being built because it's everywhere. Every as soon as those student loan payments resume, those people are getting kicked out of those houses, okay? And they're making payments on all that stuff in it. Facilities right right next to apartment complexes, right? Exactly. So that would be smart. That would be very smart. Oh, that would be very smart. That'd be horrible though, man. See your stuff get auctioned off. Ooh, that'd be so horrible. I wonder how many people happen to that on TV. They, you watch the Storage Wars, and then they come across a storage that happens to be yours, and you see your stuff get auctioned off for like $500. Your whole life is in that storage facility. You save some from you since a kid, and then you see them, the Storage Wars, and then they treat it like garbage because it is garbage to them. They know you debt slaves have to move out. They know. They know. I'm currently paying the storage fees on units once they hit 90 days. No auction. Thanks, Andre. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here, man. I guess that's pretty much all I can say today about. I can see a lot of people are loving the shorts, and the SMD family, you know how I'm doing the shorts now, so you know why they're catching on to them because I'm mixing. I guess I can say it out loud. They don't know. I'm mixing the psychological in with what I'm saying because they don't know what I'm saying. So that's why they're fascinated by it. Okay, think about it this, SMD family members. When I say something like, it takes one day to buy a house, debt slaves don't know what that means. So I'll mix it into a statement. Or you'll hear me say a statement like, you can't own equity in a mortgaged house. They don't know what that means. Okay. So it confuses them, which draws them more to the video short that I make. Because I'm saying psychological things in it, which they've never heard nor understand. What do you mean you can't own equity in a mortgage house? All my friends are doing it, and then they'll start running the program, and then you damn near got to slap them to shut them up. Oh, I've been doing it. I've been investing in this and that and doing this, and no, you haven't. No, you haven't. But anyway, thank you, everyone. Much appreciated that you joined today, and thank you, Robert, for coming up today. Thank you, Nick, for getting that SMD. Join the Discord server, please do. You can speak with other SMD family members, different ages and races, women, men. You can talk to anybody, right? Don't be nervous. If this is you and you come across this video and you're in that situation right now, you're going to lose your house because when student loan payments start, you're going to lose your car, your house, or something. you probably should jump on the Discord server and talk to some of the SMD family members that could probably help you prevent that situation from happening. It's going to happen, but you can make it happen your way, but not forced by the bank or the police or the marshals or whatever to do to get you out of the house. You can make it happen on your own terms, but you got to come to terms with what's about to happen, because you don't want to be caught. You don't want to be caught up in that, putting your stuff in storage facilities. Now they're going to kill you with fees and all this other stuff. You don't want to be caught up. That's all. Nothing wrong with the storage facilities getting that money. That's called business. But I don't want you to be on the negative side of that business. Maybe help you own a storage facility and get in on some of that money. Because believe you me, there's going to be plenty of money. I don't care how many storage facilities are up. There's going to be plenty of money for everybody. If you got a storage facility that you can get, hey man, rent out your garage. I don't know. Maybe you can license that through the state or something and say, hey man, I'm gonna open up a store, put my garage a place and rent that out. But make sure it's done legally. Make sure you do it all right. Just don't say, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do it and throw an ad in the paper. Don't do it like that. You do it all correctly. The state knows, the IRS knows, the federal government knows that you are doing a storage facility in your garage. Everybody knows. All players must know. I can only imagine how many people get in the house and say, hey, yeah, just put a renter in it. Then they go and finance a house in their name and then go put it in a paper and say, hey, I'm renting out this house, and it's still in your. It's just bananas. People do that. It's crazy. Just know there is no one on YouTube that speaks like LJ. SMD will be global. Thank you, sir. And that's not even bragging. It just is. And this is a gift. I want to make sure I understand something. When you guys hear me say there's nobody like me on YouTube or any social media, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying what is, because I know it's a gift, and I will always treat it as such. Because it's just as much as it was given to me, it can be taken away. So I treat it as a gift that it is, because I know it's a gift. Millions don't know what I know. Millions. No, billions, because it's around. Capitalism is worldwide, so it's billions with a B. Well, you guys take care of yourself. I hope you let me give you let me leave this out here for you. Okay. If you want to shoot me an email, for those of you that may be listening as you're driving, SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com. Let me get some water 1 second here. SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. If you enjoyed this, I always like to put this at the end, my Cash App, because when I go to videos and people be throwing up their Cash App before the video begins, I'm like, why are you putting that up? I don't even know if I like this video yet, and you want me to give you some money? I always do it at the end. If you enjoyed this video, there's my Cash App. Cash App, Savings Minus Debt, because I don't like that. Always has bothered me. It's sort of like the way they try to do the tips now. I went up to the Starbucks window the other day. I'm walking up. I pull up, walk up to the window to get my coffee. They say, okay, put your card in the machine, and there's a tip thing. A tip for what? I'm here getting it. There's no tip. I'm here to get it. Take my coffee and leave. It's sort of like that. So SavingsMinusDebt@gmail.com. Excuse me, SavingsMinusDebt is my Cash App. All right. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, and you can schedule an appointment for all serious inquiries only. SavingsMinusDebt.com. All right, serious inquiries only, and you'll see that when you go see the price. Okay, serious people only. I had to, what's so crazy? I had to change that. You know why? Because people would, at $100, people would still come over there question, hey, what about this? And hey, I'm not here to convince you of anything. You reached out to me so I could tell you what to do. Now I made it a price that only serious people will do it. So they'll know, that price says, I'm here for a reason, LJ. I believe in what you do. I'll follow what you do, period. We say wherever there is capitalism, SMD will have a place there. Join the positive side. Sure will. Capitalism is put it this way, whoever designed it, my hat goes off to that person, that group of people, person, whoever. I don't know. It's not, this, what I'm talking about is not in history books. It's not. I mean, it's in some books but they're not in public libraries. I highly doubt they're in public libraries. I highly doubt it. This is probably it's guaranteed to be a library, but not for public access. Okay, but it's a library somewhere because it has to be written down. It has to be, because it got to be carried on. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining today. Much appreciated. Until next time. All right, later.